Hey guys, it's Coach Rachel. Today I'm going to take you through a very quick but very effective dumbbell workout. This can be done at home or at the gym, your choice, because all you really need is a pair of moderately weighted dumbbells. Now, if you do have a selection of weights to choose from, feel free to change your weights from one exercise to the next to make it the most challenging but appropriate level for you. But if you have just one pair, that can easily do for all of these exercises. All right, so you're going to start with just holding one dumbbell in the goblet position. The goblet position looks like this, where you cup the dumbbell right in front of the chest. Make sure that your torso stays upright, that you're not leaning back with the dumbbell weighted on your chest. Stay nice and tall. Then you take a squat stance with your feet, which is different for everybody, but generally speaking is about shoulder width with the toes slightly turned out, but feel free to play around with it. You want to make sure that your knees stay tracking over your toes, they're not going in or out, that your hips can go nice and low, and that your back is not round, it's going to stay flat as you squat down as low as you can comfortably with good form, and then come up, rotating on the ball of the foot towards the side. Squat down, stand up, and rotate. The twist and the rotation should follow a natural twist of your spine. You should be twisting around the belly button and not lower. I'm going to turn to the side here in a second so you can see what I'm doing. But you can get 5 on each side. Okay, from the side it looks like this. Squat down, rotate, turn the ball of the foot. Control the movement the entire way. 5 on each side for a total of 10 squats. Rest as you need to. This is not a rushed workout. But next on you're going to move to the alternating arm bent over row. So grab both of your dumbbells here. Take your feet about hip distance apart and parallel, toes pointing straight ahead. And then you're going to bring your butt back, your hips back, towards the wall behind you. Your back should be flat here. So you don't want to be rounding, nor do you want to have a huge curve. So it shouldn't be like a half moon in your back. It should be just a gentle arch right here. Just keep your abs just a little bit tight. You're not sucking in your abs. You're just keeping a little bit of tension right here. All right, so flat back. Look at the ground. Arms are going to hang towards the ground so you get a little bit of stretch in the shoulder. Then you're going to pull. Think about pulling with the elbow towards the back of the ribs. Let it come back down and switch. You're trying to resist twisting the torso as you pull. And you're going to pull with control. Now, note, I'm not coming up super aggressively when I'm rowing. I'm not coming up like this. Knock up to the shoulder, and actually this is your back, which is what we want. So just pull with the elbow, meet the ribs, and come back down. 12 on each side, alternating reps. Sorry, my dog wants to get on the workout too. Stand up. Rest if you need to. All right, next up, we're going to move into a split stance Romanian deadlift. So again, you want your dumbbells. First, one foot's going to come out a little bit in front. The other one's going to come a little bit back. This is the split stance right here. Don't stress about where the feet are too much. You'll figure it out as you go. But make sure they are hip distance apart, so not too narrow. You have width and toes pointing straight ahead. Grab the dumbbells again. Let the palms go towards your thighs, so kind of shave down your leg as you go. And then you're going to bring the hips back, 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 back. This leg right here stays straight. The other knee can bend. And then stand up. Push hips forward as you stand, squeeze the glutes. So notice I'm moving with my hips only. The hips go back, then the hips go forward. The back doesn't actually do anything, nor do the arms. Bring those hips back. Stand up. 5 on each side. And then switch sides. So something to note, this is your working leg. The front leg is your working leg. So when you come back with the hips, you should feel a stretch in the hamstrings and back of the leg here. You're not going to feel much on this side, so it's okay to bend this knee. And then when you stand up, bring the hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Notice though, I'm not pushing so far forward, my lower back rounds. You're nice and upright here. So get a stretch in the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes to stand back up. Switch sides. And same thing, 5 again on each side. So you're bringing the hips back, so we call a hip hinge. Get a stretch in the hamstrings. Bring it back up. Keep the weights close to your body. They shouldn't float out in front. It's like you're shaving your legs with the dumbbells. Don't worry about coming super low with your torso. It's really about the hips. You don't want to round your shoulders forward towards the ground and attempt to reach the ground. There's no point. 5 on each side, and then again, rest as you need to. Take a little breather. Next up, we're going to do a push press, which is an overhead press. You are going to be using the momentum of the legs here. So Again, you want to have your feet in about a hip distance stance, like so. You want to be what I call your jumping stance. I can't jump right now due to a broken toe, I'm still healing. But if you want to get back a few hops into the air, wherever your feet land is probably where you want your feet to be. So they should be parallel to each other. Toes pointing straight ahead, like so. Rest the back of the dumbbell and the back of the shoulder, then your hands in the front, and then the front head of the dumbbells in the front there too. You want to pull your weight into your heels just a little bit, because normally the weight's going to pull you forward a bit, so you're just going to pull back slightly to get aligned. Then you're going to do what we call a dip. A dip is like this. It's a break in the knees. Notice though, my torso is still vertical. I didn't do this. All right? Watch for that. You want to come, just break the knees like 2 inches. Keep the torso vertical. What this does is this loads your power. You're going to use power in a second to bring the weights up and overhead. It not only is it not bringing the torso forward though, it's also not a squat. It's not this. It's just, once you load that power up doing the dip, then you're going to drive. A drive is essentially a jump. You want to use the power you just locked in here to bring the weight up and overhead, like so. Dip, drive. Bring it back down. Dip, drive. Once you get good at it, you can flow together. Exhaling, you should push up and through. So again, it's not a strict press. It is using momentum, but you want to get the timing down of the dip and the drive to allow that weight to float overhead. 12 push presses. Then you put your weights to the side, and we're going to do some bird dogs for the core. Now, this is a seemingly easy exercise, although it is deceptively easy, and it is often butchered. So here's what you want to do. Get on hands and knees. Again, your back should be flat, so just a little bit of arch here, not too much. Hi, Sophie. And you want to keep that the whole time. I want you to visualize that right here on your low back is a cup of hot coffee. Or if you prefer this analogy, maybe it's your grandma's heirloom china plate. Something that you really don't want to fall off your low back, either because it's going to burn you or because it's going to break. So you want to keep the coffee on your back the entire time. So I'm going to show you first what not to do. This is what happens most of the time with bird dogs, as people bring their arm and leg out really aggressively and arch the low back. See the belly is dipping, I'm arching here. This is defeating the purpose of the exercise. You actually want to keep everything stable in your hip area. So instead, it's this. Push to the heel, reach the arms out, try to extend all the way on both sides if you can, but not at the expense of the hips moving. One hip is going to want to go towards the ground when you move. You're trying to resist that temptation. That's where the core work comes in. Switch sides. It's opposite arm, opposite leg, moving together. Minimal movement in your torso or your core. And you're going to continue alternating for 8 on each side. Notice how still the hips are. The coffee isn't spilling yet. Take it nice and slow. Again, rest as you need to, and then you're going to repeat that whole thing for 2 more times through for a total of 3 rounds. And that is your full body workout.